Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Storytime with Monzoor on Radio Ramadan Wolverhampton. Today I've got a special story for you. I want to start off by talking about an event that happened in the time of Imam Abu Hanifa. There was this man, he had heard a lot about Jannah. Everyone telling him about Jannah, how good Jannah is, the 7 layers of Jannah, the reward that you get for Jannah. So this person swore to himself, he said, Wallahi, I'm not going to eat or drink until I've slept in this Jannah. After some time passed, he realized what he had done. He didn't know what he can do now. He started... A day passed, 2 days passed, he's really hungry. But in those times, they would never break a qasam. If they did a wallahi, doesn't matter what happens, they will not break that oath. So this person went to a number of people. He asked them for advice. He asked them, what can I do? And they all said, look, you either got to break your oath or you're going to die. This person didn't know what to do. He's really struck. He didn't know what to do. So he went to one of the most famous scholars of the time, Imam Abu Hanifa, and he asked him for advice. He said, oh Imam, this is what I've done. I got really wound up and really excited about Jannah that I took the oath and said, Wallahi, I'm not going to eat or sleep until I've slept in this Jannah. But now what do I do? Imam thought for a bit, and the Imam said, is your mother alive? He said, yes, my mother's alive. He said, go and sleep in your mother's feet. For the Prophet has told us heaven lies at the feet of your mother. And it will be as though your oath has been fulfilled. You slept in Jannah. And that's what he did. So mother's status is very high in Islam. Let me tell you one more story before I go into a bit more depth. There was this boy whose mother had one eye. This boy was ashamed of his mother. He didn't want people to know this was his mom. His mom used to take him to school and he used to ask her to drop me off a few streets away. He didn't tell her why, but the reason was he didn't want his friends to see his mom's face, that there's something wrong with one of her eyes. One day at school, at lunchtime, he went to the canteen and to his shock, he saw his mom working in the canteen. He was shocked. He didn't know what to do. He goes, Mom, what are you doing? She said, oh, I've got a job here. I'm working here. I need the extra money. Then his friends heard. His friends started to say, is that your mom? Is that your mom? What's wrong with your mom's eye? Look at her. There's something wrong with her eye. This boy just put his head down in shame. Didn't know what to do. The anger built up inside him. He got angry and angry as the day went past. When he reached home, he saw his mom and he said to his mom, Mom, I wish you were dead. And he went to his room. His mom was really saddened that her son said this to her. She was shocked. She didn't know what she had done. But the boy really kept that anger in him. He couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go what his friends had done to him when they were laughing at him about his mom. He was so ashamed to have a mom whose face looked like that, where there was something wrong with her eye. He decided that's it. He's going to do whatever he can, and when he gets bigger, he's going to move away. And that's what he did. He got a good education. He got a good job. He moved to he left his mom on her own and he moved to the other side of the world in China. He lived in China. He got married in China. He had children in China. He never came back to visit his mom. On one occasion, his mom came to visit him in China. She went all the way on her own, traveled all the way to the other side of the world to visit him, to see her grandchildren. She went to the house. She knocked on the door. The children came running to the door. The children saw this lady. There's something wrong with her eye and her face. They went running inside crying, Dad, there's something here. There's a lady here, something wrong with her face. The dad got angry. The dad knew it was Mum again. He went to the door and said to his mom, "Mom, how dare you come here and scare my children? My children are terrified, they're crying. Why did you show them your face? Please don't come here again." And he closed the door. His mom, very saddened, went back home. Her world was finished. A few months later, there was a get-together at the school, an alumni, where they were inviting all ex-students to come back and meet all their friends. The boy, he got an invite. The invite went all the way to China. The boy thought to himself, yes, I want to go. I miss my friends. There's a lot of friends I made. I miss them. I want to go back just to let them know how I'm doing. I'm in China now. I'm doing really well. So he went to his school reunion. He met all his old friends, said hi to them, had a good time. But at the end of the day, when the reunion finished, he thought, should I go and just see Mom? I was a bit hard with her. So he went to the house, and when he went to his house, he realized that everything's locked up. It's padlocked from the outside. The house is all closed. The windows, it's all shutted up. So he thought, what should I do? He looked through the window, couldn't see anything. And as he's looking, someone walks past and says, "Excuse me, son. Can I help you? Do you know the lady that lived here?" He says, "Yes, that was my mom." He says, "Oh, so you must be her son. Here, she's not here anymore, but she's left you this letter." He went and got the letter for her and gave it to the son. The son started to read the letter. And the letter starts off by saying, "Oh son, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for always putting you to shame by showing my face. I'm sorry that I came to your house in China and I scared your children. I was just so eager to see my grandchildren and see you again. I'm sorry for all those times. But there's one thing I want to, if you're reading this letter, then I'm not around anymore. I've died. I've gone. I was looking forward to that you may come to the reunion at school and I may be able to see you again. Maybe even see your children if you bring them with you. But sadly, I'm not here. But there's one thing I wanted you to know. When you were small, you got involved in a car accident. And battery acid from the car went into your eye and they burnt your eyeball. And the hospital said that they were able to do a transplant. They were able to put another eyeball in. So I voluntarily gave you my eye. That's why there's something wrong in my face. I wanted you to see the world through my eyes. That's when the son realized that all that time that I've been ashamed of my mom, saying stuff to my mom, being angry with my mom, the reason for her face being the way it was, her eye being the way it was me. She sacrificed her eye and she gave it to me. Now the boy, he felt so much sorrow, so much regret for what he had done. But it was too late now, his mother was gone. How about for us? What's it going to take for us to realize how important our mothers are to us? Prophet Muhammad was asked once, "Ya Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, who has the most right over me?" And the Prophet said, "Your mother." Someone asked, "Okay, after that, who has the most right over me?" The Prophet again said, "Your mother." The person again said, "Okay, a third time, okay, Ya Rasulullah, after that, who has the most right over me?" The Prophet again said, "Your mother." Then after that, he started mentioning other relatives. But the first 3 times, he mentioned your mother, your mother, your mother, just to emphasize the status a mother has. Look at what's happening today. We see children degrading other people's mothers using the same words that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used. Someone says something, they say, "Your mother, your mom." Someone says something else, "Your mom." They use the same words that Prophet ﷺ used to raise the status of mother. The same words are used by many people today to degrade other people's mothers. If you go to the masjid, at the front of the masjid you see a mimbar. The mimbar has got 3 steps. Those 3 steps represent 3 du'as. Who said those du'as? The du'as were said by Angel Jibreel, the leader of the angels. And Ameen was said to those du'as by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Imamul Anbiya, the leader of the prophets. So such a dua, such a powerful dua, where the leader of the angels is saying the dua, and the leader of the messengers is saying Ameen to those duas, we accept it straight away. And one of those duas is, oh Allah, that person who finds himself youthful, full of energy, and finds his parents old and needy, and still cannot gain Jannah, may that person perish. And the Prophet said, Ameen. It's such an easy way to get Jannah, by serving your parents, by serving your mother. And if you can't get Jannah by serving your mother when you're able to and they're needy, then the Prophet saying, may you perish. He said, Ameen to that dua. Your mother, your mother, your mother, so important. There was another Sahaba in the time of the Prophet. Let me finish off with this story. There was a Sahaba in the time of the Prophet. He was about to die. And people try to get him to say the kalima. Say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah before you die. He's trying to say it, La. And he's telling him that it's not coming out. I've lived by this. I've fought for this. But now when I'm about to die, the kalima isn't coming out. La. It's not coming out. Other Sahaba got together, tried to encourage him, read the kalima. He couldn't do it. La. It's not coming out. The kalima's not coming out. I can't say the words. So people called the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, this is the situation, what should we do? Prophet went to him and said to him, read the kalima. And again he said, La, it's not coming out. I can't say the words. The words are not coming out. So then the Prophet asked the people around, is his mother alive? They said, yes, his mother alive. Prophet said, let's go to his mother. Prophet went to his mother, and the Prophet asked his mother, are you happy with your son? She goes, no, for some reason we're not talking. He doesn't listen to me, or something's happened between them. So then the Prophet said, okay, I'm going to order people to gather sticks. I'm going to light a fire. I'm going to burn your son. And the mother said, no, I don't want that. Then the Prophet said to her, well, Allah will prepare something worse if you don't forgive him. She said, I forgive him. He's my son. I forgive him. Yes, I'm upset with him, but I can forget all that. He's my son. I forgive him. I love him. Then the Prophet went back to the Sahaba and said, say the kalima now. And then he said, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. The words came out. He said the kalima and he passed away. Because his mother was upset with him, he was even forbidden from saying the kalima. The most important thing for a Muslim, their belief is that you worship Allah alone. And if you look in the Quran, in many places, Allah, right next to his own worship, he puts the respect and honoring of your parents. He said, worship me, Allah alone, and honor your parents. Worship me, Allah alone, and honor your parents. Worship me, Allah alone, and honor your parents. Again and again and again in the Quran. What's it going to take for us to realize the importance of mother? What's it going to take? Many of us, we haven't got our mothers. They realize it now when mother's gone, how important mother was. But the ones of us that have mothers, what's it going to take for us? Let me tell you a story that happened to me, a real life story. When I was young, I used to love playing cricket. Every day, 7, 8, 9 hours a day, I was playing cricket. That's all we did. That's all we did in Wolverhampton, in the racecourse. That's all we did. Play cricket every single day. And then we got into a league, Saturday matches. My mom was in Pakistan once. I remember this one match when my mom was in Pakistan. She had been there for 3-4 months. I hadn't spoken to her. She was in Pakistan. The day she was coming, I couldn't go to the airport because I had a match on. I went to the match instead. Family went and they got mom and they brought mom home. I was still at the match. And those matches finished late at night. Late at night. 50 over matches finished late. By the time I got home, it was dark. I went home. Everyone's quiet. I said, where's mom? I looked. I went in the living room, looked everywhere, couldn't see mom. They said, mom's in hospital. There's something wrong with her. I was quite upset now. What's wrong with mom? I haven't even seen mom. I haven't spoken to my mom for over 3-4 months. She's not here. I said, I want to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. I went in. My mom got a disease called septicemia, which is infection of the blood. And I went into the hospital, went into the room. I couldn't recognize my mom. My mom, everything was just swollen up. Water was retention everywhere. Everything was swollen up. I couldn't recognize her at all. And then, like I said, I haven't spoken 3-4 months to my mom. And now I've seen my mom after 3-4 months. The first words I heard from my mom's mouth after all this time was, Putra mare te dua kari main maran lagi haan. That means, oh son, pray for me, I'm going to die. It took that incident for me to realize how important my mom is, how I've neglected her, how I've given her the respect and that she deserves, how I haven't given her the service that she deserves from me. Alhamdulillah, my mom recovered. Alhamdulillah, my mom is still with me. But it took for that one, I was lucky. I was lucky that Allah didn't take her away then. I was lucky that Allah gave me a chance to be of service to my mom again. What's it going to take for us? What's it going to take for us to realize how important our mother is? Are we going to be like that boy who's nasty to his mom all the time, only to realize after she's gone the sacrifice she made for him? And then she's gone, it's too late. So I ask you all, it's Ramadan now. Serve your parents. Serve your parents this Ramadan. Cook food, take it down. Whatever you can do, serve them in whatever way you can. The most thing that parents want and your mother wants is just time with you. Just you to remember them. Just spend some time with them. So do what you can in this Ramadan. Gain Jannah through the service of your parents. And for those whose mothers aren't with us, remember him in your du'as. Do good deeds for them. Give money on their name away. Do it now. Do it now. Realize the importance of them now before it's too late. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.